The Gonzaga Bulldog is here. The Gonzaga Bulldogs now have 7 seasons of 30-plus wins in a row. Why? I'm going to kick it to you first because you are kind of a Gonzaga hater right now after your whole what the segment there. But are the Gonzaga Bulldogs just destined to lose?
At this point, and I don't want to consider myself a hater because I was pulling for him. I really was. I wanted this to be the year that they finally
You gave
did
them
it.
a what the for losing one game.
Yeah, I know because it's 31-1. If I was on the show whenever Kentucky did it, I'd have gave Kentucky the what the. It's just it sucks so bad. Well, Kentucky wasn't 31-1; they were 30-1 because they sucked too bad to even get to the championship game. But anyways, Frank the Tank Kaminsky helped me on that one. But I was really pulling for them. I genuinely was pulling for them to win that game and finally Gonzaga get over the hump, to finally advance, to finally get over that hump of, I really thought that, they always lose in the Elite Eight. I really thought that once they got past that they had broke that barrier, that they had moved past, that this was a thing of the past, and they were finally going to get it done. I really...
Hold it together, boys. Hold it together.
I really thought that this was the year that they were going to be able to pull it together and to go all the way. I thought that if they were going to lose, they would have lost already. It wouldn't have been in the championship. So yeah, I mean, it was just. But hats off to Baylor at the same time because Baylor's been a team that's been riddled with disappointment too. They every year can't get out of the Sweet 16 or the round of 32. They've had many years where disappointment has, struck their season. So it was really a good year for both teams that, they both kind of broke some barriers that they haven't been to yet. I don't know if Gonzaga couldn't do it with this team, I don't know if they'll ever be able to. This was the best Gonzaga team. You can name any ones you want. With Kelly Olynyk, you can name any of the past and previous teams. This genuinely, in my opinion, was the greatest Gonzaga team of all time. And possibly you could even look at them as not even look at them. They are arguably a top, 25 college team of all time put together. There was NBA talent all over the floor. They've got 4 or 5 players on that team that are going to go pro, and many of them are going to go in the top in the first round, in the top probably 15 picks. So, it really kind of sucked for them at the end of the day that they couldn't get over that hump.
So, let me ask you this question as Combs is still trying to collect his thoughts over there and keep it together. But
I had to turn off the comments, so I'm just going to say that. I turned it off so I can't see them anymore.
But let me just ask you this question, just because I am a firm believer you have to learn how to lose before you can win. Floyd Central had to lose that regional game a couple years ago to even have a shot to go further, right? Kansas City Chiefs had to lose in the AFC Championship game to make it to the Super Bowl to win the Super Bowl. Do you think Gonzaga had to lose that championship game so they can be hungry and get back there, or are they just a team that, hey, we made it to the Final Four, we are satisfied with our season, let's call it a day?
Well, I don't think they're satisfied whatsoever with their season. I think that they definitely were hoping for a title. I think
everybody
is,
right?
They've, of course, and I think that it's more the less. I think they've got their loss out of the way. I think that they've already learned how to lose. They lose every year in the Elite Eight, or every couple of years they get lucky and get to the Final Four and always lose. They never get this far. They never get this opportunity, and I think that they've learned to lose. So if they were gonna learn to lose, I feel like it's already dawned upon them. I feel like we've already got to that point. So I don't know. I want to say yes. I really do. I want to be like, yes, that this is the learning curve and next year they're going to bounce back, but they're going to lose a lot of really good players and they're not going to be, I don't think they'll be as good next year. And Tori said it right here. I think this is the truest statement. Mark Few is the best coach to not win a title. They were battle tested 100%. And he's essentially the Andy Reid before Andy Reid won a title. He's gotten there every couple of years. He's gotten a lot of shots at it, but just can never get over that hump. He's never been able to extend it to that point. Of course, Andy Reid was able to win the Super Bowl. We'll see if Mark Few is able to win a title. I don't know. I think this was the best opportunity to. This is the greatest team Mark Few's ever had, and it's not close. I really don't think so. This was their best opportunity to get there.
Combs, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think they're always destined to lose. I think that Mark Few's done a great job of turning a mid-major team into what is now probably a top program in the country. And I think that is only going to get better for them because I think that it's going to make it easier for them to recruit going forward. I think it's going to be able to make it easier for them to win moving forward. I don't think that this was only Gonzaga's shot at a championship. Now, it's never easy when you go into the tournament to win a title because it's a one and done situation.
Right.
If you hiccup, you're done. And unfortunately for them, their hiccup was in the title game. And I don't even know if it was really a hiccup as opposed to Baylor was just that much better. When you brought these guys in there and you looked at the size of the guys from Baylor and the size of the guys from Gonzaga, it almost looked like grown men playing against boys because the Baylor kids were just so much bigger than Gonzaga. Size was a huge difference in this game. And they just couldn't stop because Baylor did what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it. And I just don't think that, that spells doom for Gonzaga because, look, they are a mid-major team that every year is a legit threat for the national title. And that's a huge thing that Mark Few has done there.
So
I would go as far. Go ahead, Buck.
Well, I was going to say, on the flip side of that coin, they do play in a weak conference. So Gonzaga could, quote, be in a reloading year. And as long as they make it into the tournament, any team legitimately has a shot when you make it into the tournament.
Well, no,
Gonzaga
they're out of conference schedule is usually pretty tough too.
Or a 1 seed.
Yeah, their out of conference schedule is usually pretty damn good. They've usually got some really good wins on their schedule.
Yeah.
For them to be a 1 seed out of a mid-major conference, it's not just about being undefeated. It's about who did you beat, what were your good wins.
Right.
They beat Iowa. They beat, West Virginia. They beat BYU twice. Those were their wins.
I'm pretty sure UCLA was the first time that they've won a game this season by less than 10 points. I'm pretty sure it was either the first or second time. Right. So, they're not only beating these good out-of-conference teams, and sure, they do have a weak conference, but they're killing these teams in their conference. It's not like it's a close game all the time between them and BYU. They're winning by double digits every single game, and it's not even a close game. That's, it's not like it's free throws down the stretch. These are games that are over with, 10 minutes left in it.
And Drew is heavy on that they gave up at the end of the game. Do you guys feel they gave up?
I in a way I can see where people would say that.
They had it to within 8 and they were, hanging their heads, crying
with a minute left, right?
Yeah, I mean
it was less than a minute, I'm pretty sure. I don't,
because the game ended up with as a 16-point difference, but it was just one of those where you felt like it's, as an athlete when you're beat.
Right.
No matter how much time is on the clock, when you're beat. When, look, we've thrown everything at them but the kitchen sink and nothing's worked. And Gonzaga knew. I mean, they just knew at the end. Great, we got it to within 8 points. We're not getting any closer than this. And then, what happened? They lose by 16. So
I don't think they didn't get it within a 10-point game. With a minute 30, I'm looking at it right here. With a minute 30, they were down 84-65. It never really was a 10-point game, I don't think. I don't think it ever got that close.
I thought they got it to within 8, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was 10 or 12, but they had started to make a run. There was still an opportunity for them to, make a run, but they knew they were beat. I mean, it happens when you are in a game and you are playing in that game, when there's nothing you can do. They're just whooping us tonight, and
exactly.
that's it.
Yeah, and then over here in the comments section here, as it starts to calm down a tad bit here, Tori Anderson asked, did they give up or were they gassed? I mean, when you are an undefeated team, you are mainly mentally exhausted toward the end of the year. You have to win every game. You are chasing the perfection. So I have to go with Combs. They did give up in a sense, saying yes, they were defeated, but they just looked more mentally exhausted than like anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
they were
mean,
definitely beat.
yeah, and I think again, I just think it was a matter of they knew they were done. They knew it was, it wasn't going to be good. So, and Drew's adamant that was an 8-point difference with 1 minute left. I thought it got down to that as well, but I'm not sure. And so it's just one of those where I get it, but I don't think that they gave up. I don't. I mean, this team has 31 wins this season, so they know what it takes to win.
Man Hour Nation, thank you for checking out that clip. If you're interested in watching the full show, the link is in the description. Click on it, hit that like button, share it with a couple friends, and as always, Man Hour Nation, rise up.